Alright guys, here we go. Back up at the peak. A cold winter day. Start off here on Cabin Trail. So yeah, I have to start out by apologizing a little bit. I showed up today with kind of a bad attitude. It doesn't happen very often when I'm riding dirt bikes, but I definitely was not super stoked about the weather. I like to think of myself as somebody who doesn't let weather bother him when he's riding dirt bikes, but I'm not really an all-weather rider anymore. When it's cold outside, I kind of lose some motivation, especially in the woods. You know, all the standing water freezes up, and the ground freezes up, and, you know, any snow that has been up there is going to be frozen. And when you're riding in the woods, you don't know where you're going to come across that stuff. So it just adds one more layer of sketchiness to riding. And of course, when I'm cold, I layer up. And you can see I have a jacket on here. And it was the least I could do was to put this jacket on and some Under Armour, you know, to try to keep myself from freezing to death. But you know, when I get layered up like that, I feel like it kind of restricts my movement some, and it just throws me off. It takes me quite a while to get comfortable on the bike and to get used to, you know, being restricted and all that. So yeah, gotta apologize to my riding buddies and all the guys. I showed up there. It was 25 degrees today, according to the van when I got to the staging area. And I simply really didn't want to ride. I've always said my rule of thumb is, you know, 40 degrees. If it's not 40 degrees, I'm not riding. And I didn't want to cancel on my buddies, so. And I actually really wanted to ride. I'd done some track riding at Albany the day before. And yeah, I had a 4-day weekend and didn't want to spend it sitting on the couch because it was cold, so. Yeah, showed up, but driving in with all the fog and as cold as it was, and the absolutely crazy drivers in this town, probably everywhere nowadays, but yeah, I just wasn't feeling it. Good thing was, when I got to the staging area, there was a little bit of sun poking through, so that was nice, and you can see it, beautiful blue skies up here. And when you can see over, it's like if you look down into the valley there, you can see that layer of fog. I think we're having an inversion right now, so it's much colder lower than it is higher, oddly enough. I don't know how well that works, and I don't really care to for the most part, but I know that it was cold on the ride up. And it was still cold up here even though the sun's out, but you know, once you start riding, just like, and I know this, once you start riding, especially when you're layered up, you end up sweating your butt off because then you're too hot, right? So it's kind of a fine balance. So yeah, this cold weather riding isn't for me. But I'll tell you what, the parking lot was full. So, you know, I was kind of being a puss, to be honest with you. It's like, I needed to quit whining and complaining and go ride. So yeah, me, Josh, and Ben. Ben is new to the group, I guess you could say. Josh met him in the staging area, I think, and he was gonna ride solo, so he jumped in with us. And he's a good rider. He's riding a 24 KTM 450, I think. Yeah, 450. And yeah, he had some good skills. Much better in the slow technical stuff than I was, but I've never been good at that, and yeah, it's just not really my thing. But we manage it. We do what we can. I always say I need to go out and practice that stuff a little bit, but it's just not what I do. So, you know, you get into the hill climbs and the ruts and the roots and, you know, the fast flow stuff that everybody likes, you know, I can do fairly well. But I don't know, I'm just not, that's not the kind of riding that I am very good at. Josh likes it. I think if Josh could talk me into it, we would just do hard enduro type riding. And pipes are expensive, man. Whether I get a little discount from FMF or not, it don't matter. Pipes are expensive. I just don't, I would drop my bike a lot. And part of the problem is I'm one of the vertically challenged crew. Actually, I guess you could say I'm kind of average height at 5'9"-ish. I'm probably getting shorter as I get older. Gravity's kicking my butt, but yeah, right around 5'8", 5'9", so reaching the ground on these bikes. You know, I can certainly touch the ground, but you get me in that tight, slow stuff where I need to put a foot down. It's just a mess for me. It's like you watch these guys with all their long legs. They can handle it, getting their feet down and make it look easy, where I'm probably gonna fall. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind falling over, but as long as it's slow. This is a nice little trail here. I think I have ran this the opposite direction once years ago, once I figured out where we came out, but you can see my short legs just about get the best of me here. But luckily, I'm able to keep it together. Yeah, the ruts are deep. We had a significant amount of rain up here the week before. I think the week before. Maybe it was further ago than that. But you can see the water runoff has definitely tore up the trails a little bit. But that's just part of the game. And of course, riding the 19 KTM 250XC, great woods bike. Good bike overall, really. The suspension is just so good in the woods. And yeah, I enjoy riding this bike. But I've been riding the 450 a lot, the 24KX 450, so I definitely felt like it didn't have that long linear power that I'm used to having, and it just took a little bit of getting used to. I couldn't tell if the bike wasn't running very well or if it was all in my head. This bike it's got a real small power band, power range. In my opinion, it's not real broad and linear like the newer 4-strokes, which I kind of like for woods riding, but at the same time, probably not ideal, I guess. It depends on what you like, I guess. I like the way the bike was set up. It's just I haven't been riding it that much, so it just felt a little foreign to me. Or maybe like it didn't have much on top. I don't know. Maybe I need to clean the power valve or something. But I know when I did a top end on it last year, the power valve looked really good with the oil I'm running. So.
Whew. I think I've done that once before going the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm riding like shit, my bad.
No, you're fine.
Okay, I'm all over the place. Front tires over here, over
Okay,
there.
I'm having a great time. I'm just riding slow.
Slow's good.
Slow's good.
I've never done that, Danny. Have you?
I think I've done it the opposite direction once.
I have never done that. That's nuts.
We'll go up here to the end and I think pop out on the one of the freaking roads, and then there's a hill climb. But these bike
So I think this is considered Dead Man Trail here. I forget what number it is. I don't have my map handy, so I'm not gonna get too carried away trying to figure out what the trail names are. Everybody's been on this trail at least once. And it's kind of sketchy. It's got a lot of rocks in it. The leaves cover up a lot of the obstacles, and it's always wet. There's like a little bit of water running through here all the time. So yeah, for me this trail is a little sketchy. But we make do. We'll survive. I don't run this part of it very often either. I know this part is considered Dead Man. right? Help me out here. Because if you turn right down there, I think that's switchbacks. Lots of rocks in here, getting hidden by leaves. And you can see I'm definitely struggling a little bit. If I can't carry speed and momentum through there, I feel like I'm not doing it right, and I just start making all kinds of mistakes. And I'm sitting down a lot, so usually if I'm sitting down it's because I'm not comfortable with the terrain, and I'm deflecting off a lot of these rocks. I'm running basically a flat moose, a moose that needs to be changed in this front tire, and that's probably not helping any. Because I can feel it in the bars every time I hit a rock with any amount of speed. It's not too bad on the slower stuff, but I run tubeless in the back of this bike, and I really like it. I'm kind of considering tubeless in the front, even though, you know, if you get a flat in the front, it's still gonna suck, but at least you don't have to worry about it popping off the rim. The tubeless, the bib mooses, I'm just not sold on. The bike acts so weird. Real dead feeling.
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever you guys want to do. Just
I'm following Ben. This is great.
Yeah, this is the spot Ben gets lost.
You can see we've found some frozen ground up here, that's for sure. This ended up being a pretty good day of riding. It was fun. It's always fun to be on your dirt bike. It's just not my favorite type of riding. But you know, when you weigh out the options, you could not ride at all, which is definitely not any fun. But I guess as I've gotten a little bit older, I feel, you know, I injure myself enough on dirt bikes without throwing ice in the mix, ice and snow. And being cold, I don't think I move as well. I don't think anybody is agile when they're cold, until they warm up at least. I don't know. It's just kind of it's an extra bit of risk for me. The ground's, like I said, hard. The ice is hard. You're much more likely to hit the ground, in my opinion, but like I said, I was kind of being an absolute sissy about it and just needed to go ride my dirt bike. Look at that layer of fog. This was steep. Yeah, I think probably wouldn't have done that had I realized how steep that was. But it was fine. You know, I'm a dirt bike rider. It's all good. Kind of winding down the day. There were some work crews up here today.
I'm gonna hit Sutter and then work my way back.
Probably should have volunteered, done a little digging. But yeah, I definitely need to get out there and help the work crews more. I really appreciate all the hard work they do, and it's, you know, they're giving up their time. Like I chose to ride my dirt bike today instead of going out and helping guys, you know, trim trees and get the debris off the trail and fill in some of the holes. I definitely need to get more active in that. I try to be, you know, keep my membership with the MRA current, and they've made that really easy to do now. But yeah, it's just, you know, you got to give back as much as you can. Sutter Trail, I always try to hit this trail at least once while I'm up here. Usually just once while I'm up here every time I ride up here. It's just a fun flow trail, and this is the type of riding I prefer to do. It's just the fast flowy stuff where you're just kind of racing, going as fast as you can, you know, dodging the trees, navigating the braking and accelerating bumps. Unfortunately, you're also dealing with traffic, other riders heading the opposite direction or whatnot. So you have to be aware of that and cautious. But, you know, it's a part of it. Like sometimes, I don't know, I've had people comment before, you know, all the trails should be one way, and I get that, but, you know, if you can only ride them one way, you're losing a different experience, a completely different experience riding the trail the opposite direction. So I like to be able to ride them both ways as well. And plus, you're not guaranteed that there's not going to be someone riding it the improper way anyways. So I'm glad they're not one-way trails. You just have to be cautious, and you can see I'm doing what I can to be cautious. I'm looking down trail, I'm paying attention to what's going on. You know, still going fast, but I'm not riding over my head at all. Probably 80% here. But yeah, I don't want to run into anybody. It's kind of a part of the game that we all play, I guess, if you're gonna ride up here. And I know I talk about it every time I make a video up here. And I imagine people are tired of hearing me talk about it, but I don't know, man. I've been in a few of them, and it's pretty sketchy. Dunlops were hooking up today. I had one little hang up that I didn't have the camera rolling, and when Ben was leading, he took us on a bit of a hill with some ruts and came across some exposed tree roots, of course, which always kick my butt. And I picked a poor line and had to back her down and take a second shot at it. A little different angle. That was the only issues I really had all day. But fortunately, we didn't do anything too technical, because I'd be struggling all day then. And that just absolutely wears me out. You have to stop on a hill and move your bike around and, you know, take a couple shots at it or whatever. It's a lot of work. And that's probably why I don't work on that aspect of my riding. It's not what I enjoy doing so much, which is exactly why I should work on it. Imagine if I was good at it, I would probably enjoy it more, right? Can't just work on the fun stuff, you gotta work on the stuff that you're not good at. But yeah, I think I am going to check out for this one. So I appreciate everybody watching, but until the next one, I'm out.